Hello, dear friends. Today, we're exploring a truth that many of us have faced at some point in our lives. Why do some people try to make others feel small? And how can we protect our peace without falling into hate? Let me begin with a simple scenario. Imagine you're at work, giving your best effort on a project. You've poured your energy into it, but when you present it, someone, maybe a colleague, maybe a manager, smirks and says, "Good effort, but you're not really cut out for this. Others do it much better." How does that make you feel? For most of us, it hits like a punch in the chest, a wave of humiliation, a sting of rejection, and a quiet whisper inside saying, maybe they're right, maybe I'm not enough. But here's the real question. Why would someone want to make another person feel small? What kind of human nature is this? Why do people make others feel small? 1. Insecurity, disguised as confidence. Often, people who belittle others aren't truly confident. On the surface, they may appear bold, strong, or even superior. But underneath lies insecurity. By putting someone else down, they temporarily lift themselves up, standing on someone else's shoulders just to feel taller. Their criticism is less about you and more about covering the cracks within themselves. Think about it. Truly confident people don't need to diminish others. They shine by being themselves, not by dimming someone else's light. Comp 2. The desire for control. Some people put others down to control them. When you feel small, you're less likely to challenge them. When you feel weak, you may depend on them. This often happens in workplaces, friendships, or even families. The person who constantly points out flaws might be silently saying, "Stay in your place. Don't rise above me." It's not love, it's not leadership, it's fear of losing control. 3. Projection of pain. Sometimes people who hurt others are simply projecting their own unhealed pain. A child who grew up hearing, "You're worthless," might repeat the same words as an adult, not because they believe it about you, but because it's the only language they learned. Hurt people. Hurt people. 4. Competition for superiority. Society often teaches us to compete, to be better, smarter, faster, richer than the next person. In this constant race, some people think the only way to prove their worth is by making others look smaller. It's like two candles in a room. Instead of letting both shine, one candle tries to blow the other out, forgetting that it doesn't make their own flame brighter. How does it feel to be made small? Let's pause here and turn the lens inward. How does it feel when someone tries to diminish you? It creates self-doubt. You start questioning your own abilities. It plants fear. You hesitate to speak up, worried about being mocked again. It isolates you. You wonder if others see you the same way, and slowly you withdraw. It hurts your dignity, because deep down, every human being craves respect. Sometimes the words fade quickly, but the wound stays. Like invisible scars, they shape how we see ourselves long after the moment has passed. A story. Sophia and her manager. Let me share a short story. Sophia was a young professional who worked hard in her office. She loved learning and gave her best to every task. But her manager, Mr. Roberts, had a habit of cutting her down. When she offered ideas, he'd say, "That's too simple. You don't understand the big picture." When she stayed quiet, he'd sneer, "Why are you even here if you can't contribute?" No matter what she did, she felt small. One evening, she sat on her bed and whispered, "Maybe I really don't belong here. Maybe I'm useless." But over time, Sophia realized something. The problem wasn't her. Mr. Roberts was threatened by her potential. Every time she shone, his insecurities screamed, so he chose to dim her light. This realization didn't erase the pain, but it gave her clarity. It's not about me. It's about him. Protecting your peace without hate. Now let's turn to the heart of today's question. What can you do when someone tries to make you feel small? You see, the natural response is anger, even hate. You want to fight back, to prove them wrong, to show you're not weak. But hatred is a poison. It burns you from the inside while leaving the other person untouched. So instead of hate, let's talk about wisdom, strength, and peace. 1. Reframe the attack. When someone belittles you, pause and remind yourself, this says more about them than it does about me. If their words come from insecurity, fear, or unhealed wounds, then why carry them like their truth? You are not the reflection of their brokenness. 2. Build inner anchors. When storms come, ships don't survive because the sea is calm. They survive because they have anchors. Your anchors might be faith or spirituality, Daily affirmations like, I am enough, I am growing, I deserve respect. Supportive friends or mentors who remind you of your worth. Anchors don't stop the storm, but they stop you from drifting. 3. Respond with calm strength. You don't have to fight fire with fire. Sometimes the most powerful response is calmness. If someone mocks you, try saying, "Thank you for your feedback. I'll reflect on it," or simply smile and move on. This doesn't mean you agree with them. It means you refuse to hand them the power to shake your peace. 4. Choose boundaries, not hatred. If a person constantly makes you feel small, it's okay to set boundaries. Limit your interactions. Protect your space. Boundaries are not walls of hate. They're doors of wisdom. You don't slam them shut in anger, you close them gently to guard your inner peace. 5. Grow stronger through the challenge. Remember, challenges are also teachers. The person who belittles you is unknowingly training you in resilience, patience, and self-worth. It's like lifting weights. The pressure feels heavy, but it builds strength you'll carry forever. Reflection. So in this first part, we've explored why people make others feel small: insecurities, control, projection, and competition. How it feels to be diminished, painful, isolating, and heavy. And what actions you can take to protect peace: reframing, anchoring, responding calmly, setting boundaries, and growing stronger. But there's more. We are going to dive even deeper. How to transform these painful experiences into stepping stones of wisdom, how to stop carrying others' poison inside you, and how to rise so tall that no attempt to make you small can ever succeed again. We explored the nature of people who try to make others feel small and how we can guard our peace without hating them. Now let's go further. Let's talk about transformation, turning pain into power. The trap of internalizing emotion. Here's the danger when someone tries to make you small. You might start believing them. 1,000 compliments can be erased by one cutting remark. Why? Because the human mind is wired to remember pain more than praise. But here's the truth. Just because someone throws mud at you doesn't mean you have to wear it as clothing. You have a choice to wash it off or to let it stain you. The mirror technique. When someone criticizes you, ask yourself, is this feedback constructive or destructive? Does it help me grow or does it only aim to hurt me? If it's constructive, take it, grow from it. If it's destructive, see it for what it is, a mirror reflecting their pain, not your worth. The cost of hate. Let's be honest, hating them feels tempting. It feels like justice. But hate is heavy. Carry it long enough and it bends your back, darkens your thoughts, and drains your joy. Forgiveness, on the other hand, doesn't excuse their behavior. It frees you from carrying their poison. A deeper story, Sophia's realization. Let's return to Sophia. After months of enduring Mr. Roberts, she wanted to quit, but one evening as she journaled, she wrote, "If I quit because of him, I let him decide my worth. If I stay, grow, and rise, I decide my worth." That was the turning point. She stopped seeing herself as a victim and started seeing herself as a warrior. She no longer carried his words home like chains. Instead, she used them as fuel. Every sarcastic remark became a push-up for her resilience. Every belittling comment became training for her confidence. Months later, she got promoted, not because she fought him with hate, but because she grew so strong that his attempts to shrink her no longer worked. Practical actions to transform pain. 1. Journal the lessons. Each time someone belittles you, ask, what can I learn here? What strength is life asking me to build? 2. Practice detachment. Remind yourself, their words belong to them, not to you. Like a package delivered to the wrong address, you don't have to sign for it. 3. Build inner dialogue. Speak to yourself with kindness. Replace the echo of their harsh words with your own affirmations. I am learning. I am enough. Their words do not define me. 4. Seek communities of support. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. When one voice tries to shrink you, let 10 voices remind you of your worth. 5. Forgive without forgetting. Forgiveness doesn't mean trusting them again. It means you stop drinking the poison of hate. The blessing in disguise. It may sound strange, but those who try to make you small can actually be blessings. Why? Because they force you to grow in ways comfort never could. Think of the strongest trees. They don't grow in perfect weather. They grow through storms, winds, and harsh rains. Similarly, your strength grows when tested by people who challenge your dignity. Speaking to the audience directly. Maybe you're listening right now and remembering someone, a boss, a classmate, a family member who always made you feel less. Maybe their words still echo in your heart. I want you to pause and ask yourself, did their attempt to make me small actually reveal a strength I didn't know I had? Maybe you became more resilient. Maybe you learned patience. Maybe you finally discovered your own voice. If so, then even their cruelty carried a hidden blessing. Final reflection. So let's gather everything we've learned. People make others feel small out of insecurity, fear, projection, or desire for control. It hurts deeply, but we can protect our peace by reframing, setting boundaries, and building inner anchors. We must not carry hate. It poisons us more than it punishes them. Instead, we can transform their attacks into fuel for growth, becoming stronger, calmer, and wiser. In the end, those who tried to shrink us may have unknowingly been the ones who helped us rise the tallest. Closing words. So the next time someone tries to make you feel small, don't ask, why me? Instead, ask, what strength is life asking me to discover through this? Because remember, you are not small. You are never small. You are a whole universe of strength, light, and dignity. And no words, no actions, no attempts to shrink you can take that away, unless you let them. So choose peace, not hate. Choose growth, not bitterness. And choose to rise so tall that nothing and no one can ever make you feel small again.